You know what, before I forget again, let's just go ahead and get this, because I talked about this early in the video and I didn't do it. Duty! Our deepest thanks to you for pre-ordering Reaper's Souls. Please accept these valorous wings as a token of our appreciation. If you see Imperious, don't tell him where you got the wings. Imperious wings! I'm going to claim them. Golden wings. Quite nice, right? So we're going to replace my demonic wings with these things. There you go. It's pretty cool. If you want them compared to, obviously, bone wings, and then Tyrael's angelic wings. You can see they kind of go out a bit more. They're a bit more horizontal, it looks like. And they move a lot faster, actually. I noticed that. They do move quicker. So we're going to wear these for a bit. I think that'll be fun. The will of a Templar is stronger. We get it, yes. Oh, did I steal your line? Alright, let's get John Daw, and then... I'm close to leveling again. I'm going to get to 28. I think when I get to 28, what we'll do is we'll go and do some crafting real fast. Or should I say that to the end? Because so far I've been doing that at the end of each session rather than before I do anything else. Let's see, because killing is getting slower and I really don't want to have it take forever. I really thought my leveling was going to start slowing a little bit, but I wasn't expecting the additional 50% on this buff here, so yeah, that kind of threw me off. Alright, get that out. Get the locust out there. Just hit all the skeletons with it. Get Janda! There's this poison Nova. You know, he seriously makes me miss. Ow. Seriously makes me miss not getting hit for a bunch of damage. Ow. Oh, there's the level. 28. Makes me miss my Necromancer. Alright, Zombie Dog's got Lifelink. Grasp of the Dead got Desperate Grasp. Firebomb got Flash Fire. Wall of Zombies is an active skill, just got learned, so great. So that's like 4 skills right there, so that's going to be pretty much a complete bar. Alright, so the downside to what I'm doing right here is I'm relying on Bad Medicine to reduce the damage. And if he doesn't have Locusts or Zombie Charger on him at any point, and he lags, he will not have reduced damage. So I'm kind of having to keep my Locusts going here. God, he's running around like crazy. Will you stop that, please? Gosh, you're annoying, John. Da!
Not ready yet.
I feel like he's using that ability much more than he used to. Like, I know some of the Sun bosses kind of got updates, or where they maybe have another ability or something. Ow. Ow. Seriously? He doesn't seem like he's changed, but it seems like he's using it a lot more often. Which, as of right now, is just a pain in the butt.
Please forgive me. My vision was clouded by the colors.
Betrayal can never be forgiven.
Thank you for your aid. If we find thee, then onwards.
Alright, so we have the Templar. And as you may recall, followers used to have a maximum level of your level, right? But they had to gain the experience themselves. Well, they've removed that. Where the experience bar used to be, there is nothing. So followers no longer have experience bars. They are simply leveled with you. So they're exactly like the monsters around you. And as you can see, I pick him up and he's already kind of got one of his highest tiers of armor. He's already looking well dressed and ready to go. So him being at level 28 right away has already got himself upgraded. As a matter of fact, I have access to all his skills. Typically, when you get to this point, you may have your level 10 skill. So I am like 3 times as far as I should be. Sheesh. So as far as skills go, let's look. I can have him taunt enemies off of me to help me for survivability, or I can have him heal me. That heal is 2,574 life every 30 seconds. I have 3,000 health, so that is almost my full life bar. I'm going to go ahead and pick that. Now, Intimidate. Enemies that are hit or are hit by the Templar are slowed by 80%. Slowing is nice, although I usually have a lot of snaring myself. So I'm not really too concerned about that. Not only that, but this is 86 life per second for you and the Templar. That is not bad. Let's see. How long would it take me to gain full health with this ability? So I'm just going to go ahead and bring up the calculator because I want to see this. So I have 3,248. If I divide that by the 86 per second, helps if I type correctly. It would take 37 seconds to give me my full life bar. About 38. So kind of like this, it's a little more than 30, but I would get my full health bar. I can now get my health bar twice over every 30 seconds, which is pretty ridiculous. This is something I covered in the changes to followers and some videos after that talking about the changes here. Again, I think this is really just going to be a leveling thing, because once you get into Torment at maximum level and start hyping that up, I noticed that your health bar started going up quite a bit because there's a lot of vitality on a lot of the in-game gear. So I was sitting on my Barbarian who was 60 before and we only had, I think, maybe 70 to 80,000 health, and within finding a couple items he was already over 110,000 health. So this is not probably going to be as big of a deal as I made it out to be at one point. But definitely for leveling, I find it very, very potent. And considering that he levels up and these skills will level up with him, the gear level discrepancy that I'm having right now is probably not going to be as big of a deal now, because he's just going to compensate for that with his skills. Now, I do have Charge, cooldown of 10 seconds, charges a target, deals 280% weapon damage, and stunning all enemies within 8 yards. That's kind of nice, a nice stun, which can be useful for keeping them in my area of effects. But he also has Onslaught, which has a cooldown of 10 seconds. It delivers a massive blow of 800% weapon damage. If you haven't been paying attention to followers, again, I highly advise watching the followers video I put up for Reaper. A lot of these things are massive now. Followers are very, very powerful. I like the 800% weapon damage, but as we can see, he doesn't have any items on him right now. So we're going to go ahead and have him do his stun. And we've got Guardian to rush to my aid, knocking enemies back within 50 yards, heals me for 2,400. As you can see, it's a little less than the actual heal, and it's got the same cooldown. So that would be 3 heals and 3 times my health globe. I don't think I need to go overboard on it, though. It's nice that he knocks him back, but I can usually snare. I've got pets that really do the tanking job for me. I really don't need him to be the tank, so I'm just going to have him be the healer. And I'm going to go with Inspire. This is resource generation. 7 mana per second is pretty good. Let's kind of look at what my current mana per second is. Let's see. Life, resource. Okay, my current mana is set at... Mana regeneration is 53. So that gives me 60. So that's not bad. That's a pretty good chunk. That'll allow me to cast more spells. I think I could use that. Now, another change to followers is that it used to be you had to right-click and have them respec, and it never cost anything. There was really no cost to respec. So this isn't a major change, but it is a change in functionality. So rather than right-click and respec, at any given time I can bring him up and simply change his skills. I believe I can't do it while in combat, but I can seriously just come in here, click. That's all I have to do. Because it used to be you'd have to reset him and it would show, hey, you have both available. Now you just pick. There you go. Good to go. Honestly, it takes a lot of the it takes a few clicks away from it. It's not really like it was anything major or a big deal. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to go forth and I'm going to try and see about getting a bunch of damage on me here and see just how powerful this heal really can be. There he goes. He's already healed me once. You can see that If he had the other charge skill, he would have healed me again. But my life is regenerating pretty good here. Alright, time to reduce the damage I'm taking. But what's nice about this is I am going to get life very quickly. 30 seconds and I'm back up to full health. So I can go between engagements and have full health, which is pretty important, honestly. Healing nowadays, or health nowadays, with the whole Reaper patch, matters a lot more between combat, because you don't ever want to go into combat with a lot of health loss. It used to be okay when you had a lot of regeneration and things like that. I also didn't have my Gargantuan out, so I was taking a lot more damage than I overall should have, but...
When we return from...
Oh, right, skills. Let's do this quickly. We beat Jonda! Poison Dart is going to be replaced with Firebomb. I've got Flash Fire. Rather than exploding for area damage, each Firebomb can bounce up to 6 times to additional enemies. Damage is reduced by 15% per bounce. So this is basically chain lightning of fireballs. It's an ability I do like. It does a lot of damage in a AoE. Basically, as long as there's up to 6 enemies, it will go and hit them all. If there's only one enemy, it only hits it once. If there's 2, it hits 1 each. I do believe it can only hit each enemy 1 time, so it will not bounce back and forth between 2. And you did. You totally did. Oh, you did. Why am I aiming in the wrong direction? And since he's mentioned me twice, I'm just going to go ahead and show this off real quick while I'm here. Again, if you haven't been paying attention to the Reaper of Souls and how this works, legendaries now roll at the level that you pick them up. Now, they have to meet minimum level requirements. Like, there's no legendaries until level 11, I do believe. And then once you hit level 11, legendaries can start dropping. Thing is a legendary that has an item level of 11 can roll at a level 60 and 70 equivalents. So this Deathseeker's Cowl was a low-level item we had found before when we were running together. This is a level 60 version of it. So you can see it's got decent intelligence, vitality. It's got acid cloud damage, which is pretty nice there, and the chance for an undead enemy to be charmed when you get hit by them. Now, unfortunately, it's a fairly low chance. I can't look at the stat rolls on it because, unfortunately, the tooltip thing doesn't work when you're clicking on a link in chat. But this item, as you can see, it doesn't have anything too special to it, but it means that there's a lot more legendaries at maximum level now. So you've got all the legendaries that used to roll, those will roll at maximum level, and then you've got new legendaries. So there's all sorts of items and different builds that can be found. It's really opened up the door. And I like that, because if you find an item that you like, but the thing that sucks about the item is that it's just too low level and you're going to get rid of it, now you really don't have to worry about it. Alright, let's just do this, because I'm going to be replacing the entire bar pretty much. Flash Fire. We're getting Grasp of the Dead with Desperate Grasp. Reduce the cooldown to 6 seconds, so from 8 to 6. So a 2-second reduction. Not bad, not great. Zombie Dogs, Lifelink. Zombie Dogs absorb 10% of all damage done to you. You know what? I believe that functionality has been changed and improved. I like that. We'll talk about that here in a second. Decay, we finally get Wall of Zombies. 8-second cooldown, a line of zombies, 28 yards wide from the ground, attacks nearby enemies for 200% weapon damage as physical over 4 seconds. So not really a lot of damage per second, but it's nice to know that you can get some damage while blocking the enemy. So obviously you're 200, and you get that divided by what? The 4 seconds, you're getting about 50 weapon damage. It just... not a lot, but again, it's more of a barrier, it's more of a defensive thing. So we'll go ahead and put that on. And did I get anything else? I could have sworn 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it was just the 4, right? Indeed, it was. Alright, so with that, I am thinking I need some healing, one way or the other. Either Hex or continuing to use Soul Harvest. I think I'll go ahead and Soul Harvest. That'll give me a Terror Siphon. Okay. Now what category am I missing? I'm missing Voodoo. I have a primary, a secondary, a defensive, a Terror, a Decay. Why not? Let's just go 1 for 1. We'll go ahead and get the Gargantuan back. I think that's fantastic. Now, Let's move this around. I'm going to put that on 4. And that'll go there and there. Okay, so lifelink, real quick, since we're looking at it here. It absorbs 10% of all the damage done to you. So basically it's 10% damage reduction for me. And it gives the damage to the dogs, which means, of course, eventually they'll die and I won't have that reduction. But it's much better than what it used to be. I do believe lifelink used to act just like the lifelink effects on monsters. It would share the damage that you and the dogs took. So if you took damage, it spread it out to the dogs. If the dogs took damage, it spread it out to you. If I'm not mistaken, that is how it kind of used to work. Now it's got improved functionality. I like to see that. So I've got dogs. I've got Gargantuan. So I've got a little bit of everything here. Lifelink dogs are kind of nice to get that red glow. It's pretty cool. And it's going to be difficult to get to Leoric, I think, at this point. I have no real spenders, so that is the downside to this. Doing this build, I have no real spenders. I think what I'm going to do is, since I have dogs, I'm going to sacrifice the Gargantuan and get myself Acid Cloud again, and we'll keep that going. I especially think with Bad Medicine I'm going to need to do that, because I need to have some way of reducing enemy damage just in case. So I'll do that. Once the Gargantuan comes off cooldown, I'll go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and pop a zombie wall to take a look at it. In a confined space like this, it can be very useful because you can keep them from going anywhere. So if I do this right here, there you go. There's a zombie wall. They can't come forward. Flash Fire is definitely a skill I've liked just because it does have that ability to hit a whole bunch of enemies should I need it. Alright. Oh, now we've got a bunch of enemies coming. Zombie Wall and Grasp of the Dead seem like they might be overkill together. What type of damage is Grasp? It is physical, so I'm not getting the damage reduction on that. So go back to Acid Rain if I could get out of combat for a moment. As you can see here, Flash Fire does have a range. It's not bouncing to the guy over here. And so far, I've only ever seen it hit any enemy once. Yeah, I need a spender because I just don't have really a lot of damage with this. I mean, it's a good defensive build, certainly. But I need to be able to put out some more damage as well. What's nice to know is that it would appear... Why am I hitting that pillar? Why am I hitting the pillar? Why am I doing anything? Why do I do anything? I swear. It would appear to be that I got Cormac's healing, the passive healing bonus, even while he was down and out. That's kind of nice. Because I know that followers can die in a heartbeat. I'm not sure if that's true, though. What makes me wonder is, would that be true in a case of, like, fighting Diablo? Where the follower is caged? Would I still get his passive abilities? I'm going to have to look into that. I don't believe that was the case before, but, you know, this being a new patch, this being a new expansion, you know, you can't really take anything for granted anymore. Alright, I guess we'll do it this way. Get some damage on my bar, get going.
I will forever live in anguish.
I'm still waiting to get the rest of the Crusaders. Plenty of damage. Need AoE. Dogs out. Dogs are not out when I change skills. I should have been mindful of that. Honestly, with Cormac around, my build is going to be fairly defensive. Just because I can take a bit more damage because of the dogs, and he's just going to heal me through it. So that's great. Good job, Cormac. You're useful. But apparently you lose track of how many enemies we've killed very frequently. And already we're 29. I don't think we're going to get to 30 before the Skeleton King. I don't think that's going to be a thing, but oh well. Gargantuan got upgraded. Spirit Walk Rune. Firebats, Plague of Bats. So 3 new skills. Which is kind of a shame, because I was just getting used to these. Now, does this... Yeah, okay, so I can throw this out. So one kind of nice thing about this flash fire is if it lands anywhere near an enemy, I don't have to actually hit an enemy. I didn't realize it worked this way, but I don't actually have to hit an enemy to throw out flash fire. It's just going to work. I forgot to see if I was getting regeneration while Cormac was down. This is not the greatest of builds. I think it doubles up on some things. I mean, having grasp and the wall. I mean, certainly it could work in some situations, but like I can definitely put the wall up and have them stand in the grasp. That works. Okay, dokie. So let's grab Firebats. Put that on here. So Firebats, Spirit Walk, and the new Gargantuan, right? Okay. So Plague Bats, Disease Bats, fly towards the enemy and infect them. Damage is slow at first, but it can increase over time to a maximum of 638. Void Rays, ladies and gentlemen, in the form of bats. So 425 goes up to 638. It starts off slow, so probably starts off at the 425 and then rapidly increases to the 638 as I continue to channel the skill. Alright, zombie dogs. Am I keeping the zombie dogs? Am I? Well, I'm... don't think I'm going to keep Grasp, honestly, especially if I do dogs and Gargantuan. I don't think I need both. And I can put up Wall of Zombies. I kind of want to play around with Wall of Zombies a bit more. I mean, and all this rune does is lower the cooldown. I mean, it's kind of nice, but let's just kind of take a look at it. I didn't really take a close look at it. Not too much different, a little bit of different hue, I do believe. Alright, so we'll get rid of that. We'll put down the Gargantuan, and the new Gargantuan is Restless Giant. So when the Gargantuan encounters an elite, or is near 5 enemies, it enrages for 15 seconds. It gains 20% movement speed, 35% attack speed, 200% physical damage increase. So the effect cannot incur more than once every 120 seconds. It is a passive version of it. See, like this right here would have been a good ability for an active, to allow me to proc whenever a Restless Giant occurred. That's how a lot of the new pets are working. So again, it kind of seems weird that I can't really control that. I kind of wish I could, to activate him whenever I want. 'Tis a shame, 'tis a shame. Now, unfortunately, if I'm going to keep Firebats and Firebomb, and if I'm going to also keep the dogs, And then I'm going to have to get rid of Soul Harvest. I don't know if I want to do that. Now, I do have Cormac, so I don't really need it as much. Let's try it. Let's try it without Soul Harvest. Let's see if I can survive with it now that I have him. And what we'll do is we'll put on the Spirit Walk for Honored Guest. I gain 20% of my maximum mana when I activate it. So that can be quite useful. Alright. Let's do it. So I'll get my mana back when I use it. Let's go ahead and I'll put that here. Actually, you know what? I'll just do it that way. Let's take a look at it. Not too much different looking. Alright, you know what? I haven't been looking at anything I've been picking up. All the blues are probably not worth it. Even that yellow is not worth it. I got a two-handed. I don't really want to use two-handed. I want to keep my attack speed up. Let's see. 23 life on hit. Yeah, that's probably something I should use. I have a 25 vitality ring and a area damage ring. Yeah, let's replace the area damage ring. Now I got some life on hit. Bracers, which have more armor but gold. Not a big deal. Yeah. So yeah, I haven't been checking my items, but obviously none of them have really been an issue, apparently. So, Gargantuan. And there is the poison bats. Fantastic. Alright, I want to get to the Skeleton King, but I'm pretty sure that is a battle that's going to have to be fought on another video. Because it is already at the 1 hour mark, it would appear. You know what? That's perfect, because I wanted to craft before fighting Leoric. I really did. I want to make sure that I'm using the latest and greatest items that I can possibly get. I will be fighting him at level 29. I am almost 30. I am halfway through leveling. Yeah, I want to save some levels for the rest of the game. I'm going to bring it down a level. I'm pretty sure, I'm like really feeling that is what I want to do right now. Why did that... Oh, because I had pushed forward and I had the mouse to my left instead of in front of me. Alright, so what I'm going to do is use the bats. I'm going to... Oops. Actually, apparently I can't do that. I was hitting the wrong button. I want to know if I can use Spirit Walk while I'm channeling. Yep, yes I can. So I can be channeling the Firebats, so that kind of works, right, if I don't want to move. Not only that, but Spirit Walk kind of makes me invulnerable for a little while. Come on, back off. Alright, whoa, come on. Get behind my wall, but he can still hit me. Jeez. I only have one dog now, too. Yeah, this is definitely the time for crafting. Alright, so you know what, I just realized I'm finding my first demonic essences now. So that's good. Those are... Obviously, they're still demonic essence like they were before, but demonic essence was also the old tomes of training and the blacksmithing pages and whatnot. This is actually what you'll use in order to upgrade your crafter if you haven't done so already. Alright, this area is going to be fairly lengthy, so I'm going to go ahead and let's get back now. Oh yeah, I didn't show this off. Hold on, let me get rid of these guys. Dismiss, dismiss. I have to dismiss them one at a time. This is from my legendary shoulders. No cooldown. Take a bunch less damage. In fact, let's get dangerous. Not getting interrupted, not taking near as much damage. I'm free. Home free. Well, and before I craft, we're looking at rings here. Let's see, there's a 52 intelligence ring. That's pretty nice. I think I want to keep my healing. I'm probably going to put it on this one for the vitality. Just do that. But something else that was also I was reminded of is that you can buy rings and amulets as well. I haven't found a single amulet yet, so this is going to be good. I kind of really would like to have all of my items for Leoric. So this gentleman down here, Radic the Fence. I don't know why I forgot that he sells trinkets, but he does. So, a strength and a vital. So I didn't get any int, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and grab myself a vitality amulet. And the rings he has is vital and vital with regeneration. That, you know what, it's less vital than this one, but you know what, I'm definitely getting it. I'm going to get 2 of these. So I'm going to get 62 life per second because of these two, on top of Cormac's healing already. And a bunch of vitality. So there we go. The important thing about these rings is they cannot be disenchanted. Why did that happen? There we go. Anything you buy from a vendor cannot be disenchanted. So you can't go around farming for whites by picking them up at a vendor. Same thing with blues and yellows. I suppose it was a necessary evil. Alright, so we're going to disenchant all of this. There was nothing that I really saw that looked interesting here. So, alright. So, unfortunately, because, you know, I haven't been picking them up and paying attention, we're going to see that we're down to 2 tiers. I got 27 essences, 58 common debris. So, not too bad. We're going to go ahead and go forward with forging of some items. Highest usable. Let's take a look. Now, I want to clarify something because this was mentioned in one of the videos that I was looking at weapon damage at what I can craft here and comparing it to what I had. I'm not actually comparing the raw damage values because the thing you have to keep in mind when crafting is, of course, that the damage on this axe at 31.2 will go up when it gets the fixes. What I'm looking at right now is I want to see which one of these items is the highest damage that I can create right now. That was my intent when I was doing that. So I've got a 31, a 34, but that's a two-hander, 21. So 31 is the highest. 31 is the highest so far. Oh, a mojo. Awesome. 31, 32. So we've got a 32 now. And then two-handed. I don't want to get into two-handed. So 32 is on the sword compared to the 31 on the axe. Now let's see what it takes. It takes 2 tiers and a bunch of that stuff. It takes, for the sword, same thing pretty much. So the sword is going to be better. What does it take for the mojo? I only have 2 tiers, so I kind of want to make good use of this. That's going to give me way more damage, I think. If I can replace this. This is already at 45. Granted, this sword, if I craft it, will be a lot higher. I think it could get close to 100 DPS at 32. I do believe it'll get very, like, right at the 100 DPS mark. That's tough. I kind of like this item that it gives me life on hit. It does have a chance on knockback, but... Well, let's see. I did find some of these while I was playing out and about. I do have some set items now. So this one is just an experience set. The Born's Heart of Steel or Born's Defiance set. Can't make it, of course, because I don't have the Brimstone. I do have the Demonic Essence and everything else, but I don't have the Brimstone. So obviously I won't be making that, even though it's not... Well, armor-wise, it's actually pretty good, but... Let's see. Unfortunately, my boots are requiring Demonic Essence, so I won't be able to make those. That requires 2. The belt I should be able to make. I am at the top end of that belt range, my armor range on that. So I think I already have a... I don't want to make one of those because I've already have one of that level. Can't make the boots. Bracers I can make. Now here's something that's nice. These things require a lot of exquisite essence, but it makes a yellow without costing me a tier. So I can make this bracer, and if I don't like it, I can just disenchant it to get a tier so that I can make something else. Downside is because I wasn't keeping track of my essences, I'm a bit behind on those, so I won't be able to do too much. I can also do the same with this plate, and the plate is actually a lot better at that, because you can see this takes 5 essence, 4 common, whereas the bracers is 18 essence. Now I'm going to make one of these because it is going to be far better than what I already have. And the chest plate is looking like it's going to be far better as well. So can I make that? I have 5. I'm just at the cusp of that, so let's go ahead and make one of these armors. And this works out like keeping everything in my inventory, because the crafter will always take what's in your inventory first before going into your stash. So let's see what I got. What did I get? What did I got? Poison skills deal 6% more damage, so that's great. Vitality, I lose the 17 intelligence. So technically, it's saying that I'm going to lose 2.9% damage, but I think it's going to be close to the same, because even though I'm losing 17 intelligence, I am gaining 1% additional damage on the poison. How that exactly factors in is really hard to tell. I don't think that reduces it to a minus 1.9. I think that it's going to be somewhere different, because I believe the addition to skills is added after all other calculations. Hard to say. All right, experience in gold and pick up globe radius, so that will get Circle of Life a little more range as well. So let's go ahead and put that on. The chest armor rolled. Okay, the damage is about the same. Let me see. Intelligence is the same. It has more vitality, obviously. I lose the life after kill, but that's okay. The reason why the damage, I see, the reason why the damage went down or stayed the same is because of the gem, which I can put this in there right now. There we go. Now it's 1% more damage. 7.5% toughness. I lose 2.8% healing, but honestly, when I'm looking at the healing, I'm not really too concerned about that number, especially when it comes to life after kill. Life after kill can be a good stat, especially if you've got a lot of little things around you, but I tend to think of my survivability in terms of fighting an elite and monsters that are going to be hard to kill and not relying on that proc. So I'm not too concerned about losing it. So that's going to be a good upgrade here. We can go ahead and put that on. We'll go ahead and disenchant these 2 items. I now have 3 tiers. Can I make anything with the few items that I have? Let's take a look. Helm requires 6, so that's obviously not going to get made. Pants require 11 essence, which I cannot make. So let's see. Scoundrel token, shield. I can make shoulders, I believe. 6, and yes, I can make shoulders. But I think I'm going to avoid that because I've already got legendary shoulders. Granted, this shoulder will probably be really good. It's going to have plenty of armor, and the item level of the legendary I'm wearing is only 18. So yes, this will probably be a lot better, but because I've already got this, I'm going to hold off for now and see if I can't use these materials in another way. I can make a Templar relic, so that's nice. I like that they added the fact that you can craft a follower item from your blacksmith now. Every follower is represented, all 3. So if you have a hard time finding gear, this is a good way to do it. Alright, I'm going to go back to weapons, because I really want to make one of those swords if I can. Because I've got 2 of these, I've got 6 essence, and I've got 6 debris, most definitely. So let's get my DPS up. Wow, 41% additional damage with this. It didn't hit the 100 mark like I thought it would, but it got 121 intelligence on it. I am losing life on hit, so that sucks. That's painful. But I have Cormac with me now. So I feel like I can do away with it with that stat a little bit and try and recover it from other gear. So this is looking solid to me. 53.2. The weapon damage itself is not bringing it up. It is the intelligence, the pure 121 intelligence. So we're going to go from a 341 damage to 482. And that's the big thing. I mean, it's been very slow in killing, and I need to bring this up. And we're almost at the Skeleton King. Next video will be the journey to him and, of course, killing the Skeleton King and everything beyond. I fully expect to bring the game down. I'm just really expecting to bring it down to Master after that. Just to increase the flow of killing speed and getting through the areas to prevent this from being a basically Act 1 until 60, which probably won't happen. When I've been playing, even in a group, I got to the Butcher, I think, close to 40. So I was still 20 levels away from max level. But that's still quite a bit of levels just through here in Act 1, and I think I can go ahead and slow that down a little bit. So if I hear a lot more outcry about going back into Torment 1, I have no problem with that either, because I do kind of like the challenge. So keep in mind that even though I've digested a lot of the feedback at this point and I'm making these decisions now, it doesn't mean that things can't change. Obviously can, because this is all about entertainment. The biggest thing is I want to go through checking out builds and seeing how it plays, and I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying the search for the loot and the different builds, and that's the big thing. So any way that improves the viewing experience of it, I'm all for. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming along. We got a few items here. I'm going to keep these in my inventory. What I'm probably going to do is this. Keep a lot of these in here. I don't know why I'm keeping all these duplicates. They could really go away. But what I'm going to do is probably clear up my inventory a bit in case I start finding items. And just keep the items I'm going to be using for the time being. So I'll keep my Imperious Wings for now. I'll go ahead and throw the others in here. I'm not using the dies, but I am using the pup. Alright, there we go. Witch Doctor. Almost at Leoric. So I will see you next time. Witch Doctor in his current gear. It's been a pleasure.